guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we will be reviewing the movie Malcolm and Marie. It was released February 5th, 2021, and it stars Zendaya and John David Washington. This is also directed by Sam Levinson. So before we get into our thoughts and opinions on the film, let's see what it's about. A filmmaker on the brink of Hollywood glory and his girlfriend, whose story made his career, find themselves pushed towards a reckoning as a single tumultuous night decides the fate of their relationship. So this movie is different because there's only two characters, and it's obviously Zendaya, who plays Marie, and John, who plays Malcolm. Also, this movie is entirely in black and white, which is also different, especially for the time we're in, 2021. You really don't see that very often, and if you do, it's only like bits and pieces of movies rather than the entire movie itself. So what I liked about this is that you only needed two characters to carry the whole movie. You didn't need all this extra filler, background characters, or any of that. There is mention of other people in the film, but you never see anybody else except for them two. And I'm fine with that. With this film, you don't really get much of a background to like what's happening besides how it begins. Because with this, it's pretty much, the movie carries itself by stemming off of Malcolm's debut of his new film. So we see the talk about that and how basically her past and even his a little bit. And it's kind of a bit much during some of the scenes just because it's so much and so much and so much. But this movie is mostly just dialogue because they're just set in like the house pretty much the whole entire 2 hours.
So for me, this movie is kind of not weird. I don't know how I feel about it fully. I kind of low-key like it, but at the same time I don't. It doesn't have much replay value. Like, this is definitely something like I'm kind of good. I don't need to ever watch it again. But it's one of those things where I'm glad I did watch it. It's one of those things where it's almost like not really a movie. It's like a whole other concept. Yeah, so this is in black and white. And this is almost like this film to me reminds me of something like it's trying to be creative, artistic, poetic in a sense. And I think it does do that, but like I do feel that, and this relationship that they have is like the whole movie is they're arguing the whole time. I didn't care for the arguing and now we like each other again, arguing like each other again. Like it was back to back.
Yeah.
And at that point it was just like it's starting to be dramatic, not in a good way, and too much. It didn't feel real. It felt like they were in the scene arguing. One would leave the scene, like leave the set, and then they would regroup for a whole new scene. Like that's what it felt like. It felt like almost like a play.
I can see that, but I didn't feel that way when watching the movie. So this movie is definitely a roller coaster of emotions, like he was saying. It's very up and down, up and down. When you're watching it, it kind of seems like Marie is the center of the problem. Like she's the issue of why they're always arguing. But when you look at it as a whole, it's kind of 50-50 because he always has to push and push and push.
Well, I thought it was 50-50 from the beginning. I didn't ever feel like it was like Zendaya's fault.
Well, no, but like it just seems like she always started the fight by bringing something new up. Like she would just say like, no, and then he would be like blow up and then be like, ah.
Yeah, but I feel like it was I feel like she was very consistent with her issue. I don't know, but. Yeah, for me, I always feel like it was even. Like they're both at wrong, or they're both starting it without really coming to some resolution. And the weird thing with this movie too is like at the end, I don't know if like there was any resolution.
That's the thing with this too, because there's no resolution throughout the entire movie. Like they don't really like apologize or say I'm sorry or acknowledge like what they did wrong or.
It does end on a good note though between them.
So we think.
But well, that's just how it ends. I'm not saying they're not gonna fight ever again, but like that's just how it ended, on a good note. But yeah, it's just a toxic relationship. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. Like I feel like there should have been some like conversation that fixed everything.
Yeah.
Or something.
That's the weird thing about it.
Yeah, because he's very it's all about him. She kind of is too in a way, but hers is more justified. Because she feels like she was a big part in his film and she wanted credit, even though she said she didn't want credit, but that's exactly what she wanted, was credit. So
that's
that
like
was weird.
What the fight was about.
Yeah, so that was a weird thing too about it when she says she didn't. It's not about having credit, but it's like that's literally what you're fighting for. Like you're mad that he didn't.
Well, I mean, I could see it. Maybe she didn't want credit on like it being announced, but at least from him personally, like one-on-one, rather than saying, and I would like to thank Marie for
Well,
inspiring
she
me.
she wanted that. That was the first argument. Was he forgot to say thank you to her. He said thank you to everybody else.
Oh yeah.
But and then he said he apologized and all that stuff. But I don't know. It's a weird one. But I do like it though. It is creative because I've never seen a film do this.
Mm-hmm.
I like the black and white and I like the music. I feel like it fit the vibe of this movie. But it's not a great. See, I can't even. It's so hard for me to compare, like, to even think about this because I'm trying to compare it to an actual movie. This isn't a movie to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just how it's shot just makes it not feel like a movie just because there's only 2 people in it. I was going to say I kind of like the black and white, though.
You do?
Yeah.
No, I do too.
I didn't think I would like it, but I did.
Yeah. Again, it just felt like a play or like a very extended cut. Like they didn't make the movie, but this is like an extended part of the scene, but it's like super extended. It's like a whole movie length.
It's like behind the scenes.
Because if you think about it, like, say they cut this down to like 10 minutes of a scene in a movie. 10 minutes. Like, that's a long scene, but just imagine like 10 minutes of whatever, of this whole thing. You get you'll get it all. Them fighting, them yelling at each other, them making up.
And then another fight.
No. And then you would cut like a normal movie into something else.
Oh.
But I'm saying you can imagine, if you wanted to, what else would happen throughout that night. And instead of this cutting into the next part of the movie, they just gave you that whole night. So like that show 24, which you've never seen, and we might actually end up watching that one day, but where they do the whole, every hour of the whole existence, or like the whole day, it's just
you're telling me about
1 a.m.,
that.
2 a.m. Like that's what this was, I felt like. It's breaking, like there's no skipping. We're going through the whole night. Another thing I will say about this movie is I do like the acting. For the most part, there's one part I actually do like Zendaya as an actor, which I'm surprised, because I don't really like too many Disney Channel, or no, she's Nickelodeon, right?
Disney.
Okay, I don't really like, well, either Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. Actors normally outside of their Disney and Nickelodeon stuff. But yeah, so like normally I'm not the big fan. Like I don't think they're the best actors, but I think Zendaya is actually pretty good. Like I feel like she's took some classes or like did something because she is playing serious roles now.
Yeah.
And I pretty much did like her in this film. Besides like one part, I kind of forget the part now, but I think it was like a crying part.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how, I don't know, it just didn't seem super good. But they both did well though. I enjoyed it.
I was gonna say I think they should make a movie that's stems from this, like how the entire night went before they got home.
Yeah.
Like the movie leading up to that, and then this branches off and we see everything that happened.
And it says it's a drama romance. For me, this is not a romance movie. And a romance movie to me doesn't have to be like a straight lovey-dovey, everything's perfect.
I think it's just drama.
Yeah, it's just drama. But yeah, that's going to be our review of Malcolm and Marie, obviously. But before we go, we definitely have to give you our ratings.
So I would probably give this like a, let's just say 69. I don't know if I would do a 68 or a 70 because it is a good movie. It was just a little long for me. Maybe I was just watching it at the lowest peak of my energy, but I enjoyed it still. I enjoyed the black and white because you don't really get that these days, especially as a whole movie. And the acting was really good to me, and I like Zendaya. And it was just a unique movie overall, which I like because you don't really see something like this at all.
For me, I'd probably give this a solid 70. It could be more, I feel like, but at the same time, this is the movie I feel like you can almost like, it's like I said, it's a little repetitive. So I almost feel like you can watch 30 minutes of this and you've seen the whole thing because it just starts repeating itself. But I still liked it. I still think it was creative. I still like the acting, like she said, and yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I know a lot of people were kind of bashing it. So yeah, I think 70 is good for me. She said 69, which is basically 70 or 68. But either way though, that's our review of Malcolm and Marie. So if you enjoyed it, definitely leave a like. We appreciate that. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below your thoughts of this movie. And we didn't mention, but this is on Netflix, so not anybody can watch it, but most people have Netflix. So if you got Netflix, definitely check it out and let us know what you think about it if you haven't seen it yet. But yeah, if you did, definitely let us know down below. But either way though, my name's Matt.
My name's Nicole.
And we'll catch you next time.